welcome back to Entropia. This is Sturge with episode 4 of Mining the Entropia universe, and today I'm about to land on planet Toulan. That's right, I haven't been here in about a year, and I hear there are a lot of great changes to the planet, and also I'm very excited that the Virtual Sense people have taken over this planet. You will know the Virtual Sense is the group that has developed and continues to develop the Monria Moon system, which is exciting. But here on planet Toulan, let's go and see what the Virtual Sense folks have in store for us now that they've taken over here. I'm really excited, as I have no doubt that Virtual Sense people have worked their magic, mojo, and put the polish on planet Toulan that it has needed for a very long time. So let's get to it. Let's see what's happening. One of the things I love about planet Toulan is the short landing cycle. You don't have to come down 8,000 feet. You just got to come down like a couple hundred meters. Bam, you're there. And this landing zone is pretty cool. The other thing that is really nice, and this is a change that preceded the Virtual Sense people taking over, is that vehicles are now allowed on planet Toulan. So you can fly your Sleipnir or your you can run around in your hoverpod if you want. You know, your Sand Runner, whatever it be, you can use that vehicle to get around here on the planet now. And that makes a big difference for exploration. It's a small planet, and it was challenging. I got all the TPs way back in the day just running around and swimming around, which was kind of cool. But now the accessibility of the planet is much greater, given that you can have vehicles and you can traverse using those vehicles. So let's start off here at the Citadel and see what we can learn about the upgrades to planet Toulan. Let's quickly check in with the information booth. I kind of like this. It's cute. All kinds of good stuff here in the information booth here. Obviously, there's some lore, some history of planet Toulan, but also there's some other really important things that will help you if you have never been to Toulan before. There are the shop's teleporters, which will give you actually waypoints to each and every teleporter if you don't have those already. Like I said, you can fly there now. You don't have to run through the mobs and swim and jump and skip and press wildflowers. All you have to do is get the waypoint, fly, drive, whatever you want to do. If you want to run, go for it. This is a gorgeous planet. So all the information to get you started is right here at the information booth, which I think is a great addition. But what I'm going to do, from my experience, is get us the mining missions, which sadly are few. Hint, hint, Virtual Sense. I'm going to get you those mining missions, and that way we can get started mining on the planet, and then go and look at the beginner missions and how mining resources affect those beginner missions. From the Citadel teleporter, which is directly behind the information booth, up on the steps a little bit, we are going to click on this teleporter and head over to Nahar City. You may not have this particular TP to begin with. That's okay. It's not far away. You can see right on the map where it is. So we want to go here because there are some mining missions here, 3 specifically, that we want to pick up quickly so we can move forward and get credit for every drop that we make that hits one of those resources. After arriving here at the Nahar City teleporter, you're going to run east. You can see here past the Golden Bird towards this gate down here. We're going to run to the east, and then once we get almost to the gate, we're going to turn just to the right, and we're going to see the Qua Mining Challenge NPC right here. It doesn't have a name, but that's all right. And this individual is going to give us 3 mining challenges. Now, there's a third one for a Queek Stone, but it takes a lot to get there, which, it just seems a little weighted, but that's okay. At least we have something to work with. We have 3 mining missions that we can do for the Yud, Yashib, and for the Kaz Worm. And this is where you go. And then next up, we're going to go to Guardian Village and pick up the new player missions there. I've already done them, but we're going to go to the new player missions and then see what we can do with the resources from those missions. Then from the Nahar City teleporter, we are going to go down to the Guardian Village teleporter. You may not have this teleporter if you are new to Planet Toulan, That's okay, though. The information for Guardian Village, the waypoint for the Guardian Village, is available from the information booth right there at the Citadel when you land. And then once you come into Guardian Village, run straight over to this NPC Bahar. And this individual, I'm clicking on him, but I cannot get the missions. This is the beginner mining missions. I recommend doing them quickly when you first get here, because we don't know what effect those may have on later missions, so we might as well do them, get that out of the way, so that you have that credit. Once you've finished your discussion with Bahar, you turn to the right and come straight over here to Feza. Feza is going to give you the beginner crafting missions. There are 3 of them. You start here. I've completed them. That's okay. You can still see where they are. Yes, Nihar outfit, stage 1, stage 2. And the stage 2 is the one we're worried about. It's collect 30 Aquique texture, which is actually a little bit of a challenge to make. You can get the blueprints from the technician. The Aquique texture blueprint is available from the technician. But it requires Aquique Stone and Zircon Stone, which is a little different from your standard, like stone extractor and then the stone, which you might do on other planets. Here it just requires 2 stones. And what I want to show you is where to find Aquique Stone and Zircon Stone. But also, in doing so, I want to demonstrate the depth of the mining finder you're using is by far the most important factor in getting these resources here on Toulan. As you know, it wouldn't be a Entropia video without going to Little Big Mining Log and first looking at the map. So let's do just that. Here, bottom right corner, very small map of planet Toulan. And on the left, you can see all the different ores, and the right, you see the end matters. What I think is the most interesting of this is that Kaz Worm, which is at the top there at 30%. I'm hoping that's right, because this is, if it's really, you can really find it at 30% of your finds throughout your mining. There's no reason for it to be running 350, almost 400% markup. That really bothers me. It looks like market manipulation. But let's take a quick look here at resource depth. This is a very important part of what we're going to be doing here. We're talking about Aquique Stone and Zircon Stone, so let's look at those 2. What I'm seeing here is that Aquique Stone, the average depth is about 493 meters, and you can see maximum depth at 988 and minimum at 117. That is very, very telling. I'm going to try a few different finders as we go along, but we're going to see some important information about Aquique Stone. And then here's Zircon Stone, and the depth is more reasonable, so an average of 586 with only 150, 200 meters either way. So that also changes the type of finder you're going to use to find Zircon Stone for that Aquique texture that we were talking about for that mission. So, one of my favorite places to find Aquique Stone and Zircon Stone was right outside the Guardian Village. Came out the east gate, and I ran south toward the beach, which is a really good place to start. I'm going to use an F105 here, because the Zircon Stone appeared to be perfectly matched with the F105, and its depth of 500 and some change in meters, but I'm going to take off the depth enhancers because I don't need 600 meters of depth. I actually want to kind of fluctuate between 100, so as deep as 622 and as not very deep as 422 meters in depth right here outside of the Guardian Village. And this actually makes it pretty easy, so you're able to quickly find the resources you're looking for, so you can complete the mission as quickly as possible. And what's going to happen here is I'm actually, by using the F105, I'm actually making a mistake, and I want to show you that. But and sometimes it takes a little bit of length to do that in a video, which I hate to do, but that's what I'm doing. Alright, so running along the beach, dropped a few so far. Didn't get anything until that. Little calderite stones. That's interesting. You can find calderite right here on the beach by the Guardian Village, to the east of the Guardian Village. But so far, no Aquique and no Zircon. Alright, a couple more drops up the beach. Right, sort of right where I want to end it. Here's some Zircon stone. 552 meters. That's about as exact on Little Big Mining Log. So we know we can find Zircon Stone out here, but I'm not finding any Aqueak, which I have in the past, and I certainly did use an F105 to do so. So I'm going to try a different area using the same finder or a different finder and see if I can't find some Aqueak stone. Here I am, landing in a cloud of dust in the northwest of the Citadel teleporter, and you can see I have 2 waypoints down. And this is where the Entropia wiki demonstrates that you can get, there's a little map icon that shows you can get some Aqueak stone here. So I am trying again with that F105, and then I may switch to a different finder here as we go. But as you can see, so the first drop was nothing. I'm going to do a lot of drops and not get any Aqueak using the F105 here, which is very interesting. After a few drops, I'm starting to get concerned that the F105 is not good for finding Aqueak stone, and that's disappointing. But 150 ped ironstone is not disappointing, so I'll take that. It's not even a consolation prize. It's actually a really good find. There was a lot of lag leading up to that. That was really interesting. I've been having that for quite a while, but that's a 15 substantial. Too bad we didn't have an iron mission. Hint, 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 hint. Virtual sense. We didn't have an iron mission that would cover maybe ironstone or something like that. But that's good. That's all, and I'm saying that all in good fun because this is a really nice find. So, but the take-home message is the F105 isn't covering it for finding a Aqueak out in this area. It's great for ironstone though. So after about 30 minutes of running around and dropping probes and switching to the Terramaster 4, I capitulate and I decide it's time to use the F101 finder because it has a much shallower depth range and just to see how that works out for us. And sure enough, there it is. Same location. I pretty much landed right here, just over that hill, so only about, like right there in front of me, I landed. And I got a Aqueak stone. So the F101 instantly becomes the winner for finding a Aqueak stone. And as I go along here, I keep finding a Aqueak stone with the F101 in sufficient quantity. So there's the lesson to be learned. The F105 gets a little too deep, and the Terramaster is considerably too deep to find a Aqueak stone. The average depth on Aqueak is much more shallow, and the F101, because of its shallower depth, is capable of actually finding quite a bit of that resource. And I think that's a really telling piece of information. We often discount the F101 as being sort of a beginner's finder, when in fact that's not the case. It really is useful for finding resources at different depths, and it should be utilized as such. So bear in mind, if you're looking for a Aqueak stone, the F101 is a great finder, and probably any finder, F101, 102, 103, something with that 300 to 400 meter shallow depth will help you get the Aqueak stone you need for the texture. And now you know where to find Zircon. So now you're set for the Nahar outfit stage 2. I always think it's important to check the auction for orders right before you do any real mining. And here I can see the Casworm. And look at this. The markup here is 350+%, which, again, if it's coming in at 30% of your finds here on Toulan, that doesn't make much sense. Unless for some reason Casworm is being used for something very specific, and the demand for that item is very high. Here's an individual who has an order in for a lot of 1,000 Casworm at a 300% markup. So the market is willing to pay some of that. I mean, obviously, everybody would like to get it cheaper if they could, but 300% is pretty good. So if we can fulfill that order, that would be pretty cool. And then let's see what else is for sale. So some ferrous ingot is here. Ferrous ingot is coming in 120%-ish over the month. Let's see, what else do we have? They're specific to Planet Toulan. The marrow ingot is coming in at 100 and some change percentage. The sheep ingot is coming in at 116%. Zircon, which we were able to find earlier, 118. on the day, 120 something in the week. So yeah, that's actually pretty good. There's a little bit of sunburst. This looks like 129%, 130% markup. So these are the things that are selling right now on Toulan, and you can see the percent markups. We were able to find Zircon, Ferruz, and a Stone. So that's pretty good so far. We're also able to find quite a bit of Casworm. I would say quite a bit. It was probably 15% of my finds, just and cruising around. And the finder for that was actually the F-105, interestingly enough. And there are specific locations for Casworm. I would say it's a little bit trickier. It really is one in every 5 finds. So it's not quite 30% for me, but it may be based on, you know, some people know exactly where to find it, and that's the way it goes. So here's kind of a look at some of the things that I'm throwing into storage right now. We've got Casworm in there and some other resources. So it's actually good mining here. I would say the hit rate is right around 30% overall. I had some bad stuff, but yeah, really and truly, hitting at 30% is pretty darn good. And with that kind of markup, you should be able to keep yourself afloat and sometimes into profitability. There is so much more to say about mining on planet Toulan that it would take me like probably another 15 or 20 minutes to do it. So I'm not going to do it. I'm standing at one of the high points here. Looking at the scenery of this planet is awesome. I also have the textures rendering very low, so it's probably much more beautiful if you turn the graphics up to the high status as opposed to the low point that I have it at. But that doesn't take away from the beauty. And I wanted to sort of finish up with saying now we can see all of the times I've talked about depth being a major factor for finding resources, really see it here on Toulan in finding very, very specific resources, like a Queek versus Zircon, the two different finders to find two different resources. I really want to encourage people to come to Toulan and check out what's changed here since the Virtual Sense group has taken over the development and maintenance of this planet. It is already shaping up to be as epic as Monria, and just spoke with the Dark Moon Enigma and was told that in 2 weeks more content is coming to the Toulan system, which is so exciting and bright that I'll be back here. I may not be finished with the series at that point, but I will definitely be back here to mine and have a good time playing on Planet Toulan. I want to thank everyone for coming and watching this new series. It is really, really refreshing to see that many people so excited about this mining series. It's really encouraging for me as well. So I very much appreciate all of the comments, the likes, the subscriptions. And if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel because this content will continue to come every week, currently on Tuesdays. But yeah, that's the plan, to keep this content coming and to keep having fun mining the Entropia universe. Thank you all for watching. This is Sturge signing off. Ciao for now.